A spooky sight today at many casinos along the Gulf Coast. No people.
Well, casinos are just some of the businesses that were shuttered today because of Tropical Storm Isidore. Isidore's impacts are already widespread, even though it's hours from making landfall.
This is Mike Seidel in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We are getting pounded right now by these dangerous squalls coming in off the Gulf. Heavy rain, strong winds, coastal flooding and overwash. We'll talk about it and show it all to you coming up in just a moment.
The Weather Channel Evening Edition continues.
Hello and welcome to the Weather Channel Evening Edition. It's 9:30 in Tampa, Florida and 6:30 in Seattle. I'm Paul Goodlow.
And I'm Sharon Resulton. Thanks for making us a part of your Wednesday night. Tropical Storm Isidore, well, it's still hours away from making landfall, but we are already dealing with flooding problems from the extremely heavy bands of rain that are hosing down the Gulf Coast. Tropical storm warnings remain posted along the Gulf Coast from Texas to Florida. Hurricane watches are posted still from Louisiana to Pascagoula, Mississippi, and a tornado watch is still in effect from Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle, and we have had some confirmations of tornadoes and damage this afternoon. Mandatory and voluntary evacuations were ordered today for many residents, as well as a dusk to dawn curfew in places like Biloxi, Mississippi. The casinos there are closed earlier in the day, and there is little to do for tourists in New Orleans. Some popular Bourbon Street haunts shut their doors. So did the Audubon Zoo and the city's museums. The governors of both Louisiana and Mississippi have declared states of emergency. Getting around in the Big Easy is anything but easy tonight. Tropical Storm Isidore is delivering flooding rains, nearly 6 inches in the last day and a half. More heavy rain is expected tonight on into tomorrow. And when all is said and done, New Orleans could see as much as 10 inches of rain from Isidore. And the Weather Channel is dedicated to helping you and your family stay safe during this tropical storm. So we've sent meteorologist Jeff Morrow to New Orleans, and Mike Seidel is in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Jeff, we're going to start with you. And, well, I know you've seen some heavy rain. Exactly how bad is the flooding already in New Orleans?
Sharon, I feel like I'm underwater sometimes standing out here. That's how hard this rain is coming down. And it's unrelenting. It is just coming down in sheets right now. We've probably at least picked up another inch or two of rain just in about the last hour to hour and a half that we've been back out here. That probably brings the total upwards of between 7 and 8 inches of rain around the New Orleans area. That has caused some big flooding problems. We had some of the heaviest rain earlier this afternoon between 4 and 6 o'clock, and that caused some massive flooding, particularly out on Interstate 10 west of here, between here and Metairie, and also some street flooding. And scenes like this are being replayed, I'm sure, tonight. I hope a lot of folks aren't out trying to travel in this, because I'm sure a lot of the secondary roads are flooded just like you're seeing here. A lot of folks stalling out their cars, having to have some people come out and help push them. It's just a mess here tonight. It is not a good night to be out traveling about, and you actually could get yourself into some trouble if you stall your car out and get, just really get in a bad way here. So it's going to be rain that's probably going to be the main issue that we're going to be dealing with, flooding rains, as we head in through the overnight hours as Isidore comes ashore. Sharon, back to you.
Well, Jeff, New Orleans is known as being a very festive city for the most part, and so what is the mood of the people? What are they thinking there? Are they hunkering down, or are they finding another opportunity to perhaps indulge?
Well, New Orleans, on Bourbon Street, there are always going to be a few people that are out and taking, advantage of a storm party, if you will, tropical storm party. But most people, I think, are just staying indoors, including a lot of the tourists. Sharon?
Very smart move. Okay, thank you. Jeff Morrow reporting live from New Orleans. Thanks a lot. And joining us live now from Gulf Shores, Alabama is our own Weather Channel meteorologist, Mike Seidel. And Mike, the big news there has really been the high surf, and that has really been something to contend with today.
That is right, Sharon, and that surf has been breaching the beach, and they just replenished this beach about 18 months ago, and now it's gone. The whole beach is underwater. I'm in about 2 feet of water. 3 or 4 hours ago, you could see the beach, so the surge continues to come up. High tide is not until 1 o'clock. Let me show you some of the video we took before it got dark down at the Gulf Shores State Pier. State Park Pier, and look at this surf rolling in around 12 to 15 feet. We even actually saw a couple of people in the water late today. A very dangerous thing to do. The best bet is to stay out of the water, especially any water above your knees. Once again, we're going to have this surf and this beach erosion and this overwash continuing overnight. Again, I mentioned high tide is not until 1 a.m. Let me show you now what's going on. We're getting a lot of the sea foam, and fortunately, all these hotels have a bit of a seawall. You can see this, have a metal seawall here, and that's keeping the water out of the first floor rooms. But here comes another wave and another surge of the Gulf right up towards the street.
Mike,
Sharon, Paul?
Earlier, Mike, we had a report of a tornado warning into Baldwin County. Have you experienced any severe weather yet today?
Well, we've had some very strong winds, and we had that Doppler radar indicated tornado, and the warning ended about 5 minutes ago. We have not seen a twister, I can tell you that, but we've got the swirling wind, and again, just like in New Orleans, horizontal rain continuing to come down, a lot of streets underwater. We'll be following this as this water continues to rise over the next 4 to 5 hours as Isidore makes its approach. Sharon?
Mike, thank you very much, and that was Mike Seidel reporting live from Gulf Shores, Alabama. For the very